A musician on the internet, his days are hard and long, but nobody seems to stream or download any of his songs. With his wits and intuition, he's gonna find out why and how to get the world to notice on the platform Spotify. He's a Spotify guy, doing all he can to figure out the secrets of the stream.
And so begins the quest to make a sustainable career from Spotify. My first two questions are what to release on Spotify and how often. Spotify CEO David Eck suggests that artists should be posting music often. He says, "Some artists that used to do well in the past may not do well in this future landscape where you can't record music once every 3 to 4 years and think that's going to be enough. The artists today that are making it realise that it's about creating a continuous engagement with their fans. It is about putting the work in, about storytelling around the album, about keeping a continuous dialogue with your fans." David cites Taylor Swift's latest album, Folklore, as an example of this. It was released just 11 months after her last album, without the traditional extended album rollout, that is to say that all 16 tracks were released simultaneously, rather than as a series of singles getting dropped. I suppose that this prolific schedule of releases, making new content all the time, is what David Eck is talking about here. But some of the things about Taylor Swift muddy the water of how clear a model of sustainability her work is to the career of a musician who is outside of the existing music industry. Her recording career begins in 2005, where she has a 12-year contract with Big Machine Records, distributed by Universal Music Group, who are one of the big three record labels, along with Sony Music and the Warner Music Group. In this time, Swift became one of the most popular artists on Spotify, and when the label pulled Swift's music, along with other artists from their label, in a dispute about not making enough money off the platform, Spotify began a social media campaign to persuade Swift to return to Spotify. In 2017, her catalogue was put back up on Spotify, and in 2018, her next album was released on a record label called Republic, which is owned by the Universal Music Group. It's worth noting that the Universal Music Group have been working closely with Spotify since it went public in 2017, and in July of 2020 have signed a multi-year licensing agreement with the intention of advancing their industry-leading partnership via collaboration on a new state-of-the-art marketing campaign across Spotify's platform. So Taylor Swift, as well as being someone who from a very early age has been part of the traditional music industry, also has a significant amount of clout within the world of Spotify as well. So as somebody with no industry background, maybe I need to even further embody this idea of continuous flow and continuous dialogue with fans, to be even more conversational and more prolific than someone like Taylor Swift. A project I've been working on for a number of years is the idea of blind mixing, making songs without actually listening to the songs during the recording or mixing process. Because of this, I've become quite adept at making music in less time than it takes to listen to it. Listening back to your own music is the most time-consuming part of the process of making it. If I could minimise or even exclude the listening of the music I was making and releasing to Spotify, then maybe I could release music with a level of continuity to ensure a sustainable living. I call this project Extreme Chillout Music. One of the easiest forms of music to make quickly is ambient music, using some automated phasing and time stretching techniques. You can, in a couple of clicks, transform any piece of vaguely melodic audio into a completely unrecognisable piece of ambient music. I have a technique for doing this which is very reliable, and for the last few years I've been releasing music onto Bandcamp using this process without actually listening to the result. Maybe this archive of ambient music would give me the material I'd need to release music constantly. Putting all this work into one folder, I realised I had about 156 songs and about 10 hours of music, enough to release a new song every week for about 3 years. I looked around for a distribution service that would upload your music to Spotify, and the company Sounddrop offered this service for free. It was then only a matter of using an online artwork generator to generate an album cover for each song, and then to upload 3 years worth of continuous music releases to Spotify. I feel like the automation of this process has put me at a significant advantage as a musician, freed from the labour of pondering the aesthetics and the technicalities of music making. All I have to do now is think about the storytelling, the marketing and the engagement with fans. Now I could dedicate my time as an artist to the question of how to creatively engage with the thing that is Spotify and the thing that is the public. Speaking of which, if you want to check out my music on Spotify, my artist name is Utililux. I'll put a link in the description. And if you want a more detailed explanation of the techniques I'm using to make ambient music, I'll put a link to my website with some tutorial videos in the description as well. So thanks for listening to Spotify Guy this week, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.